Connecting.
And I got rid of my Logitech, my Logitech mouse, specifically for this recording, and the noise levels I'm getting are like nothing. That Logitech mouse, man, it causes some hum.
You got that grounding issue going on there,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
So stupid.
Alright, let's see. So we're live everywhere. I'm just going to post to the channels. We'll get going. We don't have any people on yet, per se. Share on Facebook. That's good. Is it about? I don't know what they're talking about.
What?
I don't know. Someone on Twitter, I don't know what they're saying. Just get going here. Why? That's good. Alright, Brograph.
What episode are we?
127. Yeah. This on the general. And 32 messages since I left.
Sounds about right.
It's crazy, dude. Alright. Oh, what happened? What just happened? Alright. Well, Slack just disappeared on me. Alright. I just typed something and it disappeared. There you are. Let's try it again. We do the bat signal. Bat channel.
Because
Alright. Bat signal is up.
I know everything sucks. Whoa.
You ready?
Everything sucks, yeah, and this is gonna be the last
Are you
time
ready?
you hear me complain. Yeah.
Let me turn off the music here and we'll go live. Alright.
Me too, Grant. Me too.
Here we go. Waiting for new messages. So we got the messages working. Alright. I think we're good.
Oh.
Alright. Got peeps coming online. I'm going to start recording. Check 1 2, check 1 2. Are you rolling?
I am rolling, sir.
Alright. I'm rolling Skype back up. Now. Check, check. Alright. You ready for the clap?
Yeah.
1 2 3. Okay.
Checkerboard.
All right. I think we're good. I feel like we're forgetting something, but I don't think so. I don't think so. Mute my phone, I guess. Be good. All right. Tell me when you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. That's fine.
Cool. What up, bros? Welcome to another Brograph Brocast. I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt.
And Brograph is a supplement to our site, brograph.com, which is a motion graphics tutorial site with tutorials, plugins, podcasts, and other MoGraph stuff. And on the show, we talk about everything ranging from motion graphics to Cinema 4D, After Effects, plugins, render engines, doing business, doing taxes, being a contractor, or working for the man. You can email us, brograph@brograph.com. Make sure you send in your questions, comments, concerns, topic ideas. Nothing is too noob. And nothing is too advanced. We are very
some
noob.
Things are too advanced.
No, I mean, it's not like that it's too advanced. It's just we won't know what we're talking about.
Right, exactly.
So, again, Brograph at brograph.com. Make sure you get those in. We really rely on the audience to be our producers and tell us where they want to go with the topics of the show. So, this week, the birds are chirping, the sun is shining, tornado season's on the way for us here in Texas.
Yay.
It must be spring, getting ready for a whole bunch of rain coming in. April's just around the corner. We're going to go to NAB. You know what happens after April, right?
It's gonna be May.
Yep. That's right. So
I'm glad you went there, Dave.
Yeah, we're there.
I'm sure Amy's going to listen to this and get a kick out of that.
Exactly my thought. So at least one person will enjoy that.
Right.
So some stuff going on this week. Phil Roberts, first of all, aka Raid Zero, he was on the Pro Video podcast.
Yeah, I listened to it. It was really good. It was great hearing the silky smooth, New Zealand accent and the British accent
all together. Yeah.
I felt like my IQ instantly went up.
Yeah. We'll post a link to that in the show notes, of course, and you can go check that out. And there's a couple different things coming up. First of all, can I ask a question? What is up with Equestria Girls? Can we just see, you don't have a daughter.
I don't know.
See,
is Equestria Girls that My Little Pony like girls thing?
Yes, it's the My Little Ponies, except they're human.
Yeah, that's weird.
For some reason. And it's like, wait a minute, isn't this just like a normal cartoon? They're not even ponies, and I don't understand. It's just like another show with just random girls.
Yeah, I don't know.
How does this work? So they're not the ponies, but they're girls. But no one explained. I'm so confused. She's like, no, these are the My Little Ponies. I'm like, but those aren't ponies.
Those aren't ponies. Those are girls.
But she's like, yeah, but they're the ponies, though, but they're human. I'm like, so it's just like a cartoon about some humans. Yeah, but they're ponies. I'm like, okay, I don't get it. Can somebody explain to me what's going on? And also, is Pacific Rim 2 coming out soon?
I think it already came out.
Is it already out?
I have no idea.
I'm gonna have to check it out. You remember we were at NAB last year and we were checking out the bar, as you do, in the casino, and Pacific Rim was on, and so all of a sudden there's all these.
I totally forgot about this.
Yeah,
that was hilarious.
So we're sitting there all like trying to figure out how they did certain effects and stuff like that. It's pretty good. So I'm looking forward to 2. I wonder how long.
Yeah, I've heard. I haven't heard that great of things. I heard basically that they basically recreate the whole first movie. It's basically the first movie over again.
No,
at least that's the review. I've never seen the first Pacific Rim.
Well, you saw the parts of it like I did at the
bar. Yeah,
I mean, you don't have to hear it. Let's be honest. You just have to see it.
Right.
So,
going back to your cartoons earlier, by the way, those of you who have not seen the new Muppet Babies, it is straight up legit. It is so good.
I'm going to have to check that out.
So I like that they copy like the previous Muppet Babies, where they're actually bringing in like footage from like the first episode. They brought in the giant ball rolling down from Indiana Jones.
Right.
And so they brought that in. But since all the Muppet Babies are 3D now, like it's not, and they actually bring them into these, these scenes and stuff, and they light it like they're actually there. It's very cool. And Fozzie's fur, dude, that is like, it gets me every time. It's so good. And like, it's got the jiggle on his ears and the fur goes with it. And I'm just like, dude, way to go. Way to go. If anyone knows
I'm gonna have
what
to
render
check it
engine
out.
they're using, I would really like to know because
Yeah.
I know that Jim Henson, the production company, they really like to use Redshift, or at least they are in their
Really?
show. Yeah, well, they've got this one show called Word Party.
Uh-huh.
That Redshift actually featured on their site of like a year or two ago,
Oh,
where
okay.
they showed live action. They were doing, it was all motion capture and these people with giant diapers and stuff, so that they could walk like these babies
Giant
and stuff.
diapers.
Yeah, and well, it's cool. Like, so you've got live action like people. So you've
Mm-hmm.
got the that, and then you've got actual people doing the Muppet like mouth movements on
Right.
this rig, and I guess
Right.
they're using Redshift to render the whole thing. It was pretty cool.
That rig is something they developed for Sid the Science Kid.
Yeah. Sid the
Mhm.
Science Kid is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny. Like when you watch some of like the motion capture shows, you can tell that something's a bit more realistic about it, about the animations, and I guess that's what it is.
I think that's what really got me thinking about using Cinema 4D for puppeting is the fact
Mhm.
that if you take what's that griptools.io or whatever, you can
Yeah.
use something like an iPhone. I made a rig where I strapped an iPhone to my hand and I can move it around like a puppet, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So Pacific Rim 2, you said it's exactly like the original. Like, what's
I don't know.
why
That's what
is that? Is it?
I don't know. I haven't seen it. I probably won't see it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, at least they employed a bunch of people.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
Way to go.
lots of Pacific Rim jobs. So, where's my bell? Where's my? I need to dig up. Thank you. Thank
yeah,
you.
you do. You do need
I'll
to.
just rely on you.
Yeah, just say ring the bell, and if I don't
Yeah.
like the joke, I'm not gonna do it.
Well, see, that's why I need my bell.
All right.
Anyway, Luminous update. All of
Yes.
you who own Luminous should have gotten a 1.3 update that we did. If you bought it from iDesign.com, you'll be receiving that soon. EJ has it as of this morning, so he should be distributing that. And we're getting the feedback on the
Yeah.
Pacific Rim jobs in the chat. It's pretty funny. Starting early today, Grant says, yes, indeed. So this is something interesting that I came across with Octane. I was not aware that whenever you used Octane before, if you were using color values, I believe, you could not go above 1.
Right.
It's a float value 0 to 1. And I don't know I don't think it was like this before, because we ended up with a glitch in 3.08 Octane because of it. You can now go above 1.
Yeah.
Manually, which I don't understand why, and I don't understand
think it
why
was
they.
just an accident. Like,
Do you think
they
it's an
accidentally
accident?
forgot to set the limits. Yeah.
Well, because you could take that limit like crazy high, and all of a sudden it will, like if you have an emission texture, it makes it brighter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
it's
weird.
so that's what it was. So if you're using our plugin and you put something into Octane 3.08, you would get this crazy red color that was just bleeding everywhere. And it's because it was so ridiculously bright on emission. And I was looking at it and I was like, why is it doing this all of a sudden? And so I realized that in my espresso, I had something driving color temperature values to match on certain things, and it was set to RGB values that were translated from somewhere else. So what was going on is before it was translating to a value of 255 on the red channel. So what would happen in the old version of Octane is it would say, well, 255, the max we go is 1. So it would just stay there at 1. So what was happening now is now that you can go over, the 255 is being translated as actual 255 in red. So that's why you were getting that crazy red bleed coming through so big. So that was fixed. A lot of other little bug fixes. I fixed a lot. For example, Octane sample rate default used to be 100, and they changed it to 1 at some point. So I changed that. All the defaults for that are back to 1 now. What else is in there?
They changed it to 1? Really?
Default samples 1 now instead of 100.
Interesting. That's really interesting.
That's been going on for a while. We just hadn't updated it.
I think it's I bet you anything it's because of the people understand the ratios a bit better.
It is a little easier.
Yeah.
And then what else? I'm trying to think of what else. What else did I change in there? We had a couple light leak things. We had some source size issues. I changed a lot of defaults essentially.
Yeah. The range mapping between the power. Nice.
Yeah, and the power, and I think the power levels changed. Normalization is on by default now. That's something different. I've got a lot of ideas. I really want to do a version 2 of that. I'm not sure exactly when that could even happen, but I've got so many ideas now, and we got feedback from some people over the years that I think is going to be really great for the next version. I'm just trying to figure out how can I accomplish all of this without hiring a programmer. How can I do this myself or learn how to do it or something? Because the biggest thing is presets. I know a lot of people want presets, and the hard thing about that is that if you're doing a dlib file, which is just a library, it's basically referencing the plugin as kind of a saved file. You can't save back. You can't write back to it. And so that becomes a whole other animal when you start doing that, because then it's just like C++ and all this other stuff involved, and it just becomes super complicated. And so we'll see. I
wonder if you could because you're setting up wherever the whatchamacallit, you're setting up a position or a file path where the HDRs are going, I bet you anything you could do like custom 1, custom 2, custom 3, custom 4, just put in those custom ones and then have them point to No, you couldn't do that.
you could have them point to the text folder.
But you would have to have them specifically, you would have to have someone rename them to custom 1A, custom 2, custom 3, custom 4,
You would have to do that. You'd also have to, but you'd have to dump your plugin into the preferences folder instead of the main library folder, or else it's going to lock the dlib and you're not going to be able to save. Or you're going to have to just resave it yourself in your own custom library. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure the best way to go about doing that, but I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
Yeah.
If somebody is interested in and knows how to do that kind of programming, I would love to talk to you.
Yeah, for sure.
Where we can save settings, because in the texture plugin that I'm working on too, there's all this stuff I want to do, and I'm just put it kind of on the back burner because I don't know how to program it.
Right.
With just, I can't do it with just Espresso. So,
right.
And the other thing too, man, I'm thinking we're going to have to take our stuff to Gumroad or something else, because I've been talking to Squarespace about this issue, but there is no good way to roll out a software update to your customers on Squarespace.
Right.
It's awful. Like, what you have to do, first of all, is you have a list of customers and you don't know who bought which product unless you export a spreadsheet. And then you go into the spreadsheet and then you have to go in and individually mark the people who didn't buy that so that you can see just the Luminous people.
That's
so
annoying.
I did that. And then we had hundreds and hundreds of customers, and on each individual person, I had to click their name, wait for a pop-up, go to the email tab, go to Refresh Digital Goods, and hit send and say, yes, I'm sure. Click
How long did
of
that
it,
take you?
Click on it. Hours.
Jeez.
I sat there for hours clicking on customers. And so I've been talking to Squarespace about it, and they're like, oh, you mean people want to update software? It's like, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And nobody else has this question. I found one question about this on the internet, and nobody answered it in their forums. And they're going to submit it as a feature request. But I'm like, this system works really well for what we do, but it's just missing that, and that just kills the deal. That kills the whole deal, because the bigger we get, the harder that's going to be to roll out. I don't want to do that every time we do a point update.
Yeah, I agree.
Fortunately, we haven't had to do a lot of point updates, but I'm sure we'll get a lot of people sending suggestions on what we should use. It was just nice that everything was all rolled into one package.
I don't know. I really like Gumroad. Like you mentioned that. I do. I enjoy Gumroad quite a bit. We've been chatting with the French Monkey about, selling all of his stuff, which I'm still working on getting that all up and going.
Yeah.
So look forward to that soon. But so Gumroad, like especially for artists like us, when we're selling other people's products and stuff, it makes it really easy because it's a big difference than like say so EJ sells our plugin, right?
Right.
And he gets a cut from it from all of his sales. So
Right.
he just sends us, a check or PayPal or whatever at the end of the month. Well,
Right.
with Gumroad, you can set up affiliates and then, through all the links and stuff, they click on the link on your website and then it automatically, pays you, which is cool.
Plus,
That's
you
really
got to
cool.
trust that the person you're working with keeps good track of
Right.
it. Like, we
Right.
sell Pixel Dirt Shader, and so I've got to go through and keep a spreadsheet every month and go through and see how many we sold and add up what our cut is, and then send a PayPal over to Pixel Lab. It becomes a lot of work for people on both sides.
Yeah.
So, and then you got to update other people's plugins. Like we have to update Pixel Dirt Shader when there's a new version too. So, and we have to send those out to those people individually.
Yeah, it would be much more convenient just to be able to upload it to Gumroad, the updated version, if they do this, and then just say, send out a mass email saying, "Hey, there's a new version."
Here it is. Click.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
So.
I don't know.
So we've also got another Corona tutorial in the queue. I meant to get to it last week, but I ran out of time. We were posting all the other videos. We had a lot of content that went out last week.
Yeah.
We didn't even get to all the content. So all the DFWC4D videos are out. If you haven't watched those, there's ours, EJ's, David's, and Mitch's. Those are all really great. So go check those out. We did a clip actually last week of Jules on the show as a separate clip. Man, that got like 3,000 plus listens already.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's around 3,000, I think.
That's pretty good.
That took off. So,
pretty good, I guess.
Tokyo Megaplex says those DFW vids are amazing.
Oh, thanks, man.
Thanks. What else? We're gonna do live tonight. We're gonna have live Octane Monday. This is gonna be interesting. So this is gonna be basically you and I are just trying to come up with a real not anything too complicated, but a cool little intro thing for our new reel that we'll be putting out at some point because we have all this content we've done over the last year and a half.
We have the reel edited. We just do not have it. We don't have like an intro or something. We have an outro. It's just our new logo.
Ew. But we're gonna go through the whole process. So what I plan on doing is setting up my iPad into the stream as well, and using my pencil to maybe like sketch out some stuff. And then go through the process of going to the internet and looking for inspiration and putting reference images in and saying, okay, I like this, and I like what they did with the color here, and just going through that whole entire process. Is it boring? Probably. but it's one of those things where, the nighttime streams, I don't expect a lot of people to be on, but I just kind of put it on just to have it there, and anybody who wants to turn it on and just kind of like have it on while they're working and maybe chat it up a little bit, we just do that. I might as well turn on the stream while I'm working. So,
right. You get
and
to
then
hear
Thursday
Dave breathe for 5 hours.
No, I play my jazz music in the background, so don't worry. Yeah. So Thursday, there's going to be the Redshift Thursday as well. I talked to Liam, verified that. Possibly a tutorial. I know that since we split up some of our streams between his channel and ours, that some of the comments on ours maybe haven't been addressed right away. So he was looking for some ideas for this week for a tutorial. So I told him to check out some of the recent comments on our Redshift live stuff.
Cool.
And preview, we are going to come out with a new model pack next week as well. So keep an eye out for that.
Super excited about that.
Be awesome. I've been working really hard on that. I'm going to try and finish that up today. So let's see. So we got an email from Nick Barham, who said, building a 4X 1080i, I think he meant 1080 Ti C4D Octane machine. Hey guys, love your podcast. I'm thinking about building a C40 Octane PC. I'm considering having 4X 1080 Ti's, but I've been struggling to find a decent guide on which hardware configuration to go with. I want to get the most out of each card. Have you got experience with this, or could you point me in some resources or configurations I could work through? Pretty sure I'm going to work with liquid cooling as well. Ooh, good luck with that. Thanks for your assistance. Keep up the good work. I want to get into liquid cool, but I don't have the time, money, or skill yet.
Yeah, just get one of them open air cases and put a couple of fans next to it. That's what I do.
I did see the case that Tom Glimpse posted this week in the Octane Facebook group. Did you see that? Where it's like a special motherboard. It still only has like 4 slots in it, but they are separated more in order for you to pack some big old cards in there and have airflow going through and keep it 60 to 70 C without liquid cool.
That's cool.
So that's an option too. As far as getting the most out of your cards, just keep in mind that, bus speed is a big deal, but from a lot of stuff we've talked about in the past and people we've talked to before, like the thing is, if you were gaming, I think maybe bus speed would be a bigger deal, but it's like when you're rendering, it's kind of like
I think it's still a big deal.
I mean, it is
Where's
a deal.
Sage? Calling Sage.
Yeah. Not that it's not a deal, but I think even Sage may have said like, or somebody in a forum somewhere I read, it's like you're sending and receiving these scenes to render, and so it's not as big of a deal. So if it's like a money deal breaker, I don't think you're going to be disappointed that you had a slower bus speed, if that's the case, or if a couple of the cards are in a slower slot, because of the way you're working as a graphic artist, it's not as noticeable as other applications. So what I'm saying is, if you can afford it, go for it. But if you can't, it's not the end of the world. If that makes sense.
My answer to that email was, hey, come join our Slack and ask for Sage.
Right, exactly. As far as getting the most out of your 1080s, there is slightly a slowdown if you're powering your monitors off of those 1080s. So maybe keep that in mind, or maybe make sure that if you have like a 2-monitor setup, that you're hooking them both up to the same card so that you can do low priority on one 1080 and have all the other ones be fully dedicated to your rendering. That will help a little bit. Of course, water cooling is going to make a huge difference, because then you can overclock and you can get a little more out of that. Just be careful with the overclocking. Be real careful, and be careful with running that water through that PC, bro.
Yeah.
But I do think if you get on our Slack channel, if you post a list on PCPartPicker.com, that people can check that out. You can help with that. Perry's in the chat room.
What's up, Perry? Yeah, we're going to SIGGRAPH. We go to everything.
Yeah, we'll be at SIGGRAPH. Are you going to be at NAB? Let us know. So that's Nick from Australia, and then also we have from Craig with a K. He says, hey guys, are you going to make it so we can add our own images to the HDR drop-down menu in Luminous future updates? My favorite feature of this is that I can super quickly open it up and select from one of the 3 HDR presets, but I'm finding that the images are just way too resolution, and I'd like to put in my own HDRs. So this is pretty interesting, because I'm finding that QuickSky is quickly becoming like the second favorite in the Spotlight package, in the Luminous Spotlight package. So I would like to expand upon that in future versions as well. And again, it comes back to that whole preset thing. How can we save presets? So that's something that we're looking into, because right now it's using the existing HDR images that Cinema 4D uses. That come in their library, in the stock library. And my thought on that is, if you can find those images in there and just replace them with your own, you'll be good to go. I know that's not the best hack, or it's not the best solution, but it is kind of a hack for now until we get a different version out. So we are working on something like that.
Yep.
So, again, if you emails like that, Brograph at brograph.com, and let us know what your questions are. Let's see. Now it's time to move on to Ravcock. What's your flavor?
What's your flavor?
Now, I don't know where this video went, but there was the live streams of Unity Central this week, and Jules was on there talking about Octane and Octane 4 and Brigade and all this cool stuff coming out in the future, the light field stuff and holographic displays and eye tracking and all that kind of stuff. It sounds really cool.
Yeah.
I wish I had the link, or maybe the link is saved somewhere else. Now that it's not live anymore.
Yeah, I don't understand why I can find it, and I'll put it in the dingus.
I mean, I don't know where. I don't know why people take down live streams when they're done. I'm like, why don't you just leave them up, just so we can see them? Because I don't know where the Unity talk is. So if somebody has that, if you don't mind, like I see Tokyo Megaplex in the chat's looking for it. If you can find it, maybe post it on Slack and just tag me or something so that I can get a hold of that, because I was watching that kind of while I was doing stuff this week, and it was pretty good. Another thing that I saw Brandon Clements posted from that Unity Central was some of the not AI, but like some of the human models of people in Unity that are like looking extremely realistic. And he was saying he felt like we were getting past the uncanny valley. And I understand what he's saying, because it looks like really good, and it does look better than it did before. It looks less robotic, but for some reason to me it's the mouth that always gives it away.
Yeah.
And I told him on Facebook, I'm like, I still feel like the mouth opens too big. Like people's expressions are way too exaggerated. I think people in real life are kind of boring and blah, and they don't emote as much as people feel like they do when they're animating. And now he told me that apparently the original actor they based it off of actually opened her mouth that much. But it's still, to me, I mean, there's a guy in there too. I felt the same way. I felt like I feel like we are getting close, but we're still not there. It's got to be like so uncanny. It's just completely uncanny. There's no way that anyone would ever know in a million years. You know, but it's weird. We're getting to that point where the AI is getting really good and the people are getting really good. And if only we could do like holograms, then man, it's the future.
It's the future. Yeah.
It's the future.
I didn't watch it. I'm sorry.
It's just a clip. I'll see if I can find it. So Raid Zero's in the chat. What's up, Raid Zero?
What's up, Raid Zero? Okay, I want to point something out because this is weird to me.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm throwing a distribution, or I'm throwing like a video, right? I got just this checkerboard pattern. I'm throwing this into the distribution of an Octane light, you know, because I want to see a checkerboard, right?
Okay.
When I just want to be able to see this checkerboard. When I throw it into the distribution, it makes it circular. It's really weird. Like, I don't understand why it doesn't make it perfectly square like I've got it.
Check the projection.
On what? Oh, yeah,
don't you have control over that?
That's right, because, okay. Never mind. Thank you.
Are you like making stuff while we're doing
Yes,
a show?
I am. I'm sorry. The thing is, like, I don't know. I've been one of the biggest requests with Luminous is being able to put in like animated video in the gobo texture and stuff. And like, I've played around with this so many times. And
I have a way to do it.
You have a way to do it?
Yeah, I figured it out on the side. I got a file somewhere where I don't remember what I did.
See, because like it just image textures inside Octane, I feel are like super broken, you know?
I missed the comment, but I'll have to. Do you have a bigger comment thing somewhere?
Do I?
Yeah, do you have the comments listed
Yeah,
somewhere?
I've got them all.
Okay. Somebody was asking about why they didn't include portal lights in the new
Why do
version
you
of
think
Octane.
the portal lights is not included in Octane? Oh,
Probably
is
because
it
they
not?
don't. I didn't know that, but apparently they didn't. But I would say it's because they don't work.
Yeah.
But they don't do anything.
That's really interesting. I didn't see that.
And Ray Zero says scale it down so it looks more like a projector. Your light.
Yeah.
Mark Cernozia says, did you guys see the Twitter thread from Matt Workman about Octane and spotlights? I didn't see that. I know that's a feature request that's in there. So our plugin won't be working forever. At some point, it's going to be obsolete. So
yeah.
But I think it's going to be a while before that happens. There's like a feature request system for Otoy, and I want to say like it's number 40 on the list or something like that. So, let's see. What else did did you play with Octane 4 at all?
I did a little bit. Like, I mean, I just took a scene and exported it out and brought it into Octane, and I had no idea what I was really doing in the standalone version. Yeah. But then, Ariev threw us some samples, and I'm like, okay, this looks a lot better than what I was trying to figure out. So if you guys haven't seen David Ariev's examples that he did with Octane 4, just the load time's incredible.
There's a lot of options as far as like the denoiser and all of that I really didn't dig too much into because I just don't know my way around standalone. And so
same
it was fun to play with. I threw in some test scenes just to see what the difference was, but honestly, I was just like I'm just going to wait for the Cinema 4D plugin to come out because I don't know enough about this to really dig into it right now. So, but yeah, load times. There were a couple other videos about load times that came out this week as well. So I think I might have one of those in the show notes. I was also playing with terrain and vertex maps because whenever you do a displacement map for something, because I was working on like a little mountain scene with some trees. If you're going to do a scatter on that displacement, then it's not going to line up because usually the scatter goes across geometry. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what you have to do is use a vertex map in order to lift the trees up or down in elevation to match up with everything else. But I had never done a vector map at all for anything in Octane like that. So I didn't know where to start. And I didn't know like because a lot of vector maps have like the red and yellow orangish colors in them. I didn't know if you had to use those colors or not, if you had to make your own vector map with the matching colors. And I was able to just take a black and white. Hopefully I'm doing that right. Just took a black and white and use it as a vector map, and it worked just perfect. It lined up with my displacement to a T. So I guess that's all you have to do. Maybe I'm wrong, but I mean, if it works, right?
Right.
So it's cool though. I did like 2 million trees in the scene. And it worked very well, even on a 1060.
Oh yeah.
So I liked it.
Cool.
I'm experimenting with just a couple dailies and stuff just to see what I can do with scatter and some trees and junk. Let's see, God rays and direction. So who was it that posted in the Octane Facebook this week? It was
Facebook. I have no idea. I don't follow Facebook. Like ever since the whole like whatever went down, I'm trying to limit myself and my Facebook usage.
Ever since the what went down now?
The whole I don't know, that whole political scandal stuff. They're just like they're tracking the crap out of you. I'm about ready to erase it, except for the fact that like there's the Facebook groups that you have to be a part of, and like it's like No.
Oh, I know what
It's
you're
a
talking
necessary
about. Yeah.
evil. It's stupid. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Ray Zero says do some more Octane Live, which yes, tonight it'll be Octane Live tonight. So
you're way behind, Raid. Like we talked about this earlier. Come on, man. Yeah, Cambridge Analytica. That's what it is.
Oh,
the stupid Cambridge
Analytica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because of all that crap, it's like I'm trying to. I just want to get rid of the Facebook. You know, why can't there be a social network that doesn't track you? They can just throw ads at you. Let them throw ads at you. I don't care. You know, but why do they have to track my stuff and then sell all my information?
So they know what kind of ads to throw at you.
So it said, "Did Vero is already dead?"
What's Vero?
Yeah, what's Vero?
Yeah, I don't know, but we're all on it apparently.
Yeah.
So, okay, so this discussion came up anyway in the Facebook channel and on the Slack channel because somebody posted like these really awesome God rays, and then the discussion was like, well, all the God rays are going in different directions. Is it supposed to look like that? And there was a debate. It's almost like it's like the color of the dress.
Oh gosh, yeah. There's an old meme for you.
Yeah. And so there was this debate on whether or not the rays should be all straight or if they're going in all directions. Before I lose this chat here, hey Ray, oh gosh, I'm so sorry. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Hey Redden, Redwan.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound correct?
Yeah, that sounds right. Whatever.
Does the Octane network render really decrease render time? Heck no, it does not. It makes it super fast, especially if you have lots of good cards on your render network, on your render node.
Mm-hmm.
I have used these 4 1080s all the time with my 1060, and it's crazy fast.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the... I didn't want to lose that chat. I need to have like a chat archive window somewhere.
Yeah, why don't you have the chat up? I've got YouTube up.
Well, you've got YouTube up. That's why.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the combined of all of them.
Oh.
So I guess I should open my chat window separate. So anyway, with the direction of the rays, like a lot of people are like, well, if your sun is far enough away, then everything needs to be like super straight, all in the same direction. Mm-hmm. Your rays can't be going in different directions. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, if you're looking at the source...
Yeah, if you're looking at the source, they'll be going all different directions. They won't be
around
going straight. This is something that Raid Zero brought up because he posted 2 different pictures, you know, one where they're actually looking kind of like straight towards the sun, and you see it's going off on all different directions, versus if you're looking at it from the side you only get straight lines.
But there was some good discussion in that thread, if you're in there, about how he set up his fog and his nodes and how he had his fog set and the whole thing, and he posted pictures of the nodes. So I actually saved him and screenshot him because now I'm like, okay, I want to use his technique and see what I can get from that, because people really liked the way he had the fog set up. Mm-hmm. I'll try and post a link to that in the show notes as well. But yeah, I think it's if you're looking from the side, if the sun is on your left, for example, then all the rays are just going to be going at an angle in front of you. If you're looking directly at the sun, they're going to be just going in every direction. I think.
Yeah, if you're looking directly at the sun. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, this is a video I wanted to talk about last week, or just mention real quick. Advanced Octane Shaders tutorial. Okay. This is by Yvonne Fusey, and really great tutorial. And then there is another one that came out this week by, gosh, these names. Actually, no, that's the wrong link. Andre Libroff did The Secret of Realistic Materials in Octane.
Okay.
So there's these 2 different ones. So check both of those out if you're looking for more like Octane texture goodness. There's a really cool plugin that came out as well last week that is awesome, and I want it, except it's available on everything but Cinema 4D, and I hope that changes. It's like a Substance Painter live link for everybody except for Cinema 4D.
Oh, really?
So 3D Max, Maya, Moto Blender, Houdini. This is uh, Zolati Studio.
Mm-hmm.
And everything's so hard to pronounce today. What's the deal? And basically, it's a live link for Substance Painter, and I would love that because you can just kind of flip back and forth and work in something native that's a little more intuitive for texturing and painting, and then just flip back to your 3D program and Octane or Redshift or whatever. But there's also a really, really, really amazing Behance gallery by Creators Diets. Good Lord, the names today. It's Workshop CGI, and it's such an amazing piece. I don't know if you saw this or not, but it's like this workshop with all of these different I want to say like watch pieces and stuff.
Links in the dingus today, so I can't go and look at them.
Oh, I didn't send you links in the dingus?
No.
I had it all ready to copy and paste, and I completely forgot. Sorry.
That's okay.
I can't send it to you now because I got secrets in there.
Right, because
I
it'll
can't
go
reveal.
over my face or something.
Yeah, it'll probably go over your face too. Let's see. Other things in Ravcock today. V-Ray Render Cloud, apparently.
Yeah.
Is would just, I don't know if it was just announced, but I just saw the link on Twitter, so I'll be interested to see what's going on there. The my page froze up where I was looking at it. So they're doing their own
Render Cloud, I guess.
New render service comes equipped with a host of new features. I mean, of course, they want to get in on this Render Cloud game, so they're going to go for that, you know. V-Ray Cloud is currently available to a select number of early access users. Beta, blah, blah, blah. I wish there was a little more information on what it is. It's just a video, so, you know, it's literally came up like the second we started, and so I don't have any information about it, but I will post a link in the show notes if you're a V-Ray person and you're looking for a solution for rendering. And
I wonder if they'll allow any other ones, or if it's just V-Ray, you know?
I would say probably just V-Ray.
Probably. It'd be interesting to see.
And then there's this whole thing on Octane displacement that came out on Facebook as well. I know Raid Zero commented on it, that he's discovered it and talked about it a little bit. Raid Zero, this would be a great tutorial for you to do on Brograph. This is who is this? I apparently deleted the name by accident, and I apologize.
All right.
He said, I don't know if this is common knowledge, but I discovered today by experimenting that you can mix Octane procedural displacements without baking to an external file or doing it in Photoshop. You basically have to use a baking texture node for each procedural displacement. Then you can combine them with the cosine mix texture node, followed by another baking texture node. The loading of the scene is slow because of the numerous texture bakes, but it's a nice way to experiment, and you can bake in the final texture once you're happy. Now, me personally, I found a way to do it using Cinema 4D procedurals and layers. It is a little heavy, but it does work, and I need to post something on it because I did get it to work. I was able to do procedural mix stuff. But of course, this is only something that's going to work in Cinema 4D because, you know, in the background, it's converting all these things. It's not something that you could translate to any other version of Octane or standalone.
Right.
So there'll be a link to that. There's also a picture of the node setup.
Cool.
So other topics today, and something you and I have been talking about is not just having goals, but setting hard goals on paper. I think a lot of times what happens is you're so busy with what you're doing on a day-to-day. You know, if you're a contractor, you're trying to get work, you're making phone calls, you're doing the work, and then you forget, okay, well, what is my overall goal?
Right.
And where do I want to go? I think this is slightly touched on in Mitch Meyer's talk at DFWC 4D, but like it's like you and I have a lot of side projects we're working on, but we can't tell you, that kind of thing. And a lot of times, some of them go the wayside, some of them stick around, or some of them just simply take a long time to finish because you get caught up in other stuff. And I think it's good to have hard goals that you actually write down and you do dates, because you lose track. It's easy to lose track, and you may have it all in your head, and
super easy to get caught up in your regular projects that you're doing. You're just day-to-day stuff. You start panicking because you got to pay the bills, and then start trying to go get some work instead of actually working on some other stuff.
And then before you know it, it's been months, and you're like, oh, I was going to do that thing 2 months ago, and I forgot. Or you just don't ever do it at all.
Right.
So we're going to experiment with that and see if that helps us, because goals are good, paper goals are good, but I think hard dates are something that I know I need to personally work on. And another thing I wanted to ask you about, this is something that came up in, I want to say Slack, and I can't remember who it is. Sometimes I just like jot these things down really fast, but let's say your rate is X, but you work 2X faster. How do you quantify that? How do you quantify that for a client? Because let's say a client contacts 10 people and they say, what is your rate? And they all say $500.
Right.
And then you look at their work. What?
Nothing. I said an hour. It was a joke. Sorry,
go on. $500 an hour. And remember, it's $500 an hour. And then they say, okay, well, that's cool. We want to make this thing. Now the first thing you're going to say is, well, the overall quote is probably the best way to quantify that, right? Because if you've got all 10 of those people and they all quote a certain amount of money for something, are you going to go with the cheapest person? How are you going to know that the person that maybe is a little more expensive is going to give you something like 10 times better? Let's say they're twice as expensive. Maybe they'll give you something 10 times better because they actually work that fast. They're better. How do you quantify that? So let's just say I am a company that wants to hire. I'm going to do B2B with a contractor. I'm looking for someone who's good, and I look at 10 portfolios, and I'm trying to decide, do I want to go with the cheapest? Do I want to go with the best looking? Do I want to go with somewhere in the middle ground? What is going to make you basically like, how do you present to your client that you're faster?
Yeah, well,
so
you just have to be able to
a little more. You know,
it's all about how you spin it and how you talk. Like for a first initial client, there's always going to be some questions or some risk. It's not until they actually know your work and know how fast you actually work that they'll want to keep on hiring you for it.
Right.
As far as being able to show off that stuff, you can show your reel, and you can say, I did this in this much time, this and this much time, this and this much time, as you're showing it off, if you want to do that, But the thing is, if you're say, for example, you're charging $500 a day, right? So you're charging $500 a day, and all these other people are charging $500 a day, but you're twice as fast as these people. You should be charging more. You should be charging slightly a little bit more. You should be charging like $650 a day, right? And if the client says to you, well, this guy over here is $500 a day, why are you $650? You say, because I can do twice as much work in that 1 hour than that other guy can for the same price. So you're going to be actually saving money by going with me for $650 a day versus them spending 2 hours. So you're basically spending $1,000 with them versus $650 for me for what I can do for the same work.
Right.
Right.
And the other part about that is how do you get across to a client that you're more organized or that you have better project management, because all they're doing is looking at a reel.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily know if you. I don't know if I'm hiring someone. Yeah, I would ask for. I would hope that they would stay pretty organized. And everyone has a different way of doing it. You won't really know until the end. And Raid Zero brought up a good point. He said that's why we normally get people in for smaller projects first. And that's really what they do. So like when you and I went to go work at Already Been Chewed, and this is what Barton has talked about on previous podcasts that we've had with him. He doesn't send the freelancers like the biggest projects and like, hope they do, hope they can handle it. He leaves all the big, awesome work to his guys and has the freelancers handle some of the smaller stuff, and really up until you build yourself a name with your freelance clients, they're not going to know how well you work. So they're not going to send you the biggest projects that they have. They're going to start off with some of these little projects, some of the stuff that may not be as important for them or that they know based upon your reel that you could probably handle, So then with all the other freelancers they've used, they'll know, oh, this didn't take this guy that long,
Right. Yeah.
So. Anyway. But how do you get it across? I mean, other than just showing your demo reel and saying, yeah, this, you notice this part, this piece, this took me this much time, blah, blah, blah. This piece took me this much time. My rate is this specifically because I have been working in this industry for a long time and I have been able to, find ways to go about stuff, I use the plane effector on everything.
You could also kind of put it the other way and say, I could do this in the same amount of time for the same amount of money, but it's going to look twice as good.
Yeah.
I don't know how you
looks are all, how you say, that's all an opinion,
Right.
Like what may look good for you may not necessarily look good to someone else. So I wouldn't say base it on that necessarily.
To a point.
Yeah.
But if somebody puts a cube in a regular standard viewport, or they put it in an Octane viewport and hit render, I think one of them is going to look better than the other right off the bat. Right off the bat. So I think that a client would notice.
Eric List brings up a really good point in the chat. He says your first project is proving grounds, then you show them how fast you are. Yeah. So that's basically what I was trying to
probably not a good way to advertise how fast you are.
A whole lot more words.
I guess it's an advertising thing. You can't really advertise how fast you are to a new client. There's not really a good way, or to prove that the fact that you're faster is better. So, something to think about. If you have any thoughts on that, make sure to email us, brograph@brograph.com, or get the Slack. Brograph.com/Slack. It's an open invite. Get in there and go to the show topic ideas section and let us know what you think. For example, just now we got some show topic ideas that came in the door. This is from Pepe the Lion. Do you remember? I haven't heard from Pepe the Lion in a while.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. That's like early Brograph days.
I know. He says, yo, I wanted to drop this in here. Recently, I've been watching Altered Carbon on Netflix. It's a brilliant show, and I think there's a lot of stuff in there that could be related to our world, MoGraph/3D. Intro animation is on point. At the very end of the episode, they have an awesome particle animation thing, and the world of VR is very integrated into the story, and how they display being inside VR is really awesome. Anyway, give it a whirl. Could be a fun topic during the show. I started that show for about 10 minutes, and it's not that I didn't like it. It's just I wasn't ready to get into something at that point, and I just probably put on another episode of The Office, like you do. But I need to go back and check it out. So that'll be our homework.
That looks cool.
Be our homework.
Looks
check out Altered Carbon and just We'll look at the graphics. We'll come back and we'll reconvene.
See, this sucks.
It's like Oprah's
people
book
keep
club.
on sending me all these like new shows, or I'm seeing stuff on Netflix that looks really interesting. But you know, as a married person, you have to watch. You know,
someone who owns their own business too.
Yeah, you only get a couple hours a night in order to watch something, and if your significant other is not into it, or if you two get into a show like we are now that has 14 seasons.
What are you watching?
NCIS.
Oh.
Yeah.
Meh.
Yeah, it's
NCIS.
pretty good. I like it.
It's pretty good, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know,
You
man.
watch a few episodes, you start getting into it, and then you're like, okay, but still, it's like, oh man, it's gonna be a while before I can get into some of these shows. But this looks pretty cool. This looks very cool. It took me years before I could convince Amy to do Black Mirror. So.
Oh really? Yeah. That's hard to watch.
It is.
That's hard to watch.
Yeah. I still think about that episode with the
season 3
rating
episode
people.
1.
Oh gosh, that was bad.
There was an episode of the Orville that was very similar to that.
Yeah.
And funny enough, there was an episode of Black Mirror season 4 episode 1 that was like Star Trek. Did you see that one?
Yes. Yeah.
With that one dude in it, I like to call him Ugly Matt Damon.
Right.
He was like the lackey in the last season of Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
He was like the one learning from Walt.
Yeah.
In the last season.
I mean, he was also in Friday Night Lights as well. Landry from Friday Night Lights. Yes.
I haven't seen that.
I mean, come on.
I haven't seen that. You know me.
Right. If it's not The Office, you pay $14 a month for The Office.
Right. No, I was watching Family Guy reruns.
Right. They took it off, right?
Damon. Grant says Meth Damon.
I like that. That's good.
Pretty good. Yeah, where's the bell? Bring out the bell. There we go. Grant,
if you Google Meth Damon, he comes up.
Really? Oh, that makes sense. I mean, the Google foo on that. I gotta Google it now. Hold on.
Oh man, that's so good.
Damon. And I should probably check out the image search before I bring it up on the feed.
Right.
Any boobs or other things? No,
I don't see anything.
Up the screen here.
That's hilarious.
So you can see. Yeah. So this is the two of them side by side. I can't make it big because, Google Images sucks now. Oh, this one, they call him Fat Damon.
Right.
Pretty funny.
So nice. Stupid. Tokyo Megaplex had that comment. Yes, we'll give him credit for that. Well done, sir. That's hilarious. All right, let's get back to the show. Best podcast yet.
There we go. Fat Damon. That'll be the name of the episode. Fat Damon.
Okay.
The picture of him. Oh man, that's great.
All right.
Okay, cool. So, where are we in the show? Which one am I?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. We're going to switch gears a little bit.
No,
I want to do a fun...
Netflix and Altered Carbon and stuff.
Yeah, but I want to do a fun thing now. I think it's fun. You're going to think it's stupid.
No, you teased it with me earlier, and I already think it's stupid.
No, I think this is great.
No. Okay, we should throw it out to the people in the chat instead of me doing it. All right, because I think it's dumb.
Yeah, there's all that delay and everything. We'll try it.
All
okay,
right.
This is called Know Your Brograph, and this is like completely stupid and just for entertainment purposes only.
Right.
And if you guys don't like it, you don't like it. It's whatever. But I like to try new segment ideas because sometimes they stick, like Beeple's People.
Yeah.
So this is a rhyming game.
Stick.
Yeah.
We won't do this one again.
Okay, maybe we will. No. Maybe. People like it, Know Your Brograph. It's a rhyming game. So if I were to say...
All right, whatever. Go ahead.
I were to say, when Mike Winkleman puts humans into his scene for scale, what is that called?
People's people.
People's people. Okay? That's how you play the game.
All right.
All right. So I'm trying to relate this to Brograph or MoGraph, our industry, or something like that. This is like totally ridiculous and full of dad jokes. So just get ready for this. All right. When you're in Cinema 4D, you draw a line that starts in the upper left and it goes down to the bottom right. Using rhymes, what would you call that?
I don't know. I can't remember what it was.
A spline decline.
Right, spline decline.
Oh, that's right, because I told you that. I told you that one before the show. And then you were like, don't tell me anymore. So going forward, except for the last one, which when we get to the last one, don't say it right away because I want the chat room to have a second to figure this out. Right. Okay. When you create a brand new plane in Cinema 4D and you immediately convert it to geometry. I'll give you a clue. It's a brand new plane, and you convert it to a mesh. Keyword. Rhyming game. It's a brand new plane.
Fresh mesh.
Dang! You got it, dude.
It's
all right.
Terrible. It's so stupid.
All right.
I don't hate it because I'm gonna suck at it. I hate it because it's a stupid game.
You know. All right. Next one. You run out of ping pong balls.
Oh god.
No, it's not going where you think it's going. You run out of ping pong balls and you use saltines instead to do your motion capture. What would you call that? Or Ritz. A cracker jacker. You got it. Ding.
That's so stupid. All right. This is so stupid.
All right.
Go on.
When you crank all your render settings as high as they could possibly go in Octane in order to finish your render. This is going to be a hard one. I don't think you're going to get this.
All the way up?
You crank your render settings up as high as they can go in Octane to get something rendered. You're never going to get this one.
High as they can go?
Max.
It's not max. Maximum.
Okay, you want a clue?
Sure.
One of the words? Sample.
Not maximum sample.
It's got a rhyme.
I know. I don't know.
Ample sample.
Oh, that's stupid. Okay. That was dumb.
All right. You're in cinema and you're creating a newspaper and you're using the X Particles cloth rig.
Okay.
What are you making? Keep in mind, you're using X Particles to make a cloth rig, but you're making a newspaper out of it. What are you making?
Paper.
Jeopardy music.
Dave's gonna put the Jeopardy music in right here.
No.
It's a newspaper.
It's a newspaper using X Particles.
Particles. A particle. Article.
Yes, you got it. All right.
Stupid.
All right. When you have just modeled a juicer of sorts in cinema, and you have to save it out for a client.
And you have to save it out for a client?
Which would be called?
A juicer producer?
No, you're so close, though.
Good.
So close.
Juicer. Is the word juicer?
No. When you model a air quotes juicer, what else could a juicer be?
A juicer? I don't know. A mixer?
Oh, you're getting closer. You're getting closer. It's very much like a juicer or a food processor,
a blender,
or a blender,
a blender render.
Yeah, you got it. All right, last one. Know your Brograph.
Blender render. Yeah, Tokyo Megaplex got it.
There you go. All right, last one. And I you know the answer to this, so I got to put it up in the air for a minute. So the chat room.
I'm not gonna say it. Who's gonna get this?
When David Aryev's fiance has to find a restroom.
What is she?
Come on. I know that the chat room has this. They're furiously typing it right now. David Aryev's fiance has to find the restroom.
This is so stupid.
Come on, chat room. Somebody's gonna win it. Somebody's gonna win it. Oh, come on now. This one's easy.
There you go. You got it.
Did we get it?
Yep.
I didn't see it.
Tokyo
Perry.
And
a schmoopy poopy. A schmoopy poopy. Come on, give us a ding. All right.
Yeah. Hey, Billy, I just saw your tweet. That's awesome.
Who's that?
Billy Chitkin. He's listening to the show live on his phone or on his in his car as he's driving.
The future.
Anyway, yay. That's the end of the segment. Hooray, it's never gonna happen again.
Wrong. All right. Let's go to an email from Dan Jensen. Jensen.
Hey, that one was cool. An easy name.
Yes, finally. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So G Monk Gallery Show in Laguna Beach. Hi, bros. I wanted to commend you on a great podcast. It's an awesome source of information for me about the industry, and especially with C4D and GPU rendering. I also really like when you talk about your experiences on the VR side of things. Since I usually hear about new stuff through your podcast, I thought I would bring you something that might be newsworthy. I'm one of the motion graphics instructors at Laguna College of Art and Design, and I'm helping with organizing a show for G-Monk.
Yeah.
Which, just honestly, like, G-Monk has been around for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I haven't heard much about G-Monk in a little bit. Like, I feel like I need to go re-up my G-Monk intake.
Right.
And in less than 2 weeks, G-Monk is going to have the opening for his show in Laguna Beach at our school gallery. I'm trying to get the word out in the area, but there's no real cohesive motion group in Orange County. If possible, would you be able to give it a mention on the show? Mm-hmm. Let's see. April 5th. 6 through 9 p.m. is the opening, and Bradley will be there in person. And I've got Eventbrite Daily that I'll put in the dingus for the show notes. Mm-hmm. So, Eric in the chat is also a motion teacher at the same college. Interesting. He said, even though I did not get to go to the Beeple show in NYC, it was really cool to hear you talk about it on the show. I've been really been pushing to put our school on the map for motion graphics, lcad.edu. In about 2 weeks in our new AR/VR plus Octane lab, it'll go live. So I'm really excited to be teaching students Octane. Ooh, dude, that's AR, cool. VR, and Octane. Man, I saw some really cool AR stuff this week, by the way. Mm-hmm. Really cool. Like where they're getting to the point where like you can have interfaces come out of your hand and all that kind of stuff. Really cool.
Yeah, totally cool.
Did you see that one I'm talking about?
I did, yeah.
Was probably on the Slack. He said, I missed talking to you guys at SIGGRAPH. I was talking to Nick Campbell when you guys were doing the interview with him. You were busy, but I'm sure we'll cross paths sometime in the future. We can say hi. If you have any questions, let me know. I would be happy to provide you with more information. Also, you got to talking with him on email a little bit about it. Mm-hmm. He sent us some pictures and said it should be a really fun show. Bradley just launched a brand new site with new projects, so I want to check that out. He's also the latest article on Motionographer right now. He's bringing motion graphics artist Peter Clark, callmeclark.com, and Phil Rainieri, Lightform.com, who helped with the show. I'm trying to get a few more big names in motion to come down and hang out that night. We have a small Q&A session with Bradley before the show opening earlier in the day. It's mainly for students, but if anyone wants to join, they can just contact me. We're going to use our new studio if it's ready for the Q&A. Gallery show is off campus in downtown Laguna Beach. This is my new classroom below. And he sent the pictures. Can't wait to have it up and running. By the way, I tell my students to listen to Brograph.
Yay! Thank you.
So, Dan.
Hey, if you want to fly us out, we'll come.
Right.
We'll
Links.
do a whole live show there. Of course. No, we'll be in. Will we be in NAB? Yeah, we'll be in NAB that time.
Oh yeah, we'll be in NAB.
Never mind.
I'm pretty sure I'm flying to Virginia like right after NAB too. So, oh man, friggin' April. CV frame range. This actually came out last week and we didn't have a chance to talk about it. This is in a Cineversity plugin.
It is so freaking cool. Sorry,
so this lets you do the frame ranges that I've been asking for.
Well, okay. So what it does is, so the way that they had it set up currently, if you needed to do a specific frame range, you would have to do individual takes. So you do a take, and then you'd set the settings to the correct frame range that you want, and then you do another take, set those settings to the correct frame range, and then another setting, so on and so on. Yeah. What this does is it allows you to just, click a button and say, okay, I want it from this frame range to this frame range, comma, this frame range to this frame range, comma, this, and do that. And then hit go, and it automatically creates the takes for you. So it's creating all these individual takes with the same settings, and then you can just render those specific takes, to your picture viewer. It's pretty cool. It's very cool.
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 I need a link to that. I'm looking right now. For some reason, I don't have my link from last week. I moved a lot of stuff from last week to this week. So
yeah.
There's also
last week was a jam-packed week.
Man, so much content. 8K NASA star map HDRI. I'll have a link to that too. That could be super useful. I think that it's basically a star map from the Earth's, say from the Earth's point of view. I guess they all are. And this is basically, it's a real photo. It's not a representation or a rendering or anything that they've done. So this is like an actual HDRI 8K photo. Thanks. I'm glad it's all over your face now.
I'm sure.
Thanks, Skype. What's the other thing? I love this idea that Noseman had a couple weeks ago that Microsoft is purposely they're trying to make Skype bad on purpose. So let's make everything go over everybody's face, and let's make it so automatic volume adjustments happen.
What is the point of that? Like, is that to bring you to attention that like someone's sending you a link? That doesn't make any sense. It's like
you were full screen video.
Yeah, but you can't click on the link.
Yeah.
It's dumb. Yeah, like, at least if I could click on the link, it would be cool, Yeah. But, like, I can't click on the link.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so stupid. Hey, yeah. Noseman is here. What's up, Noseman?
Oh, Noseman is here. Yeah, Noseman, you're right. Skype, it's an experiment to see how long we'll put up with it before we revolt.
Yeah.
And move to Discord. They
feel like
Facebook's
that way, too.
They hate themselves, and they they don't want Skype to be around. They just want everybody to go away.
Yeah.
So Epic Games showcases the unreal future of graphics with real-time ray tracing in Star Wars. The only problem is it costs like $100,000 in order to have a rig that works.
Oh yeah.
So, did you see the live deal? It looks really cool, but people were talking about the whole rig that powered that. I forget what the cost was, but it was tens of thousands of dollars, and it's
I think it was that's really great. $150,000.
I mean, like, good on you, but I mean, I love where it's going to be in 10 years, but
yeah,
nobody can really do anything with that. But it looks good. It's a Star Wars short, and it's all like real-time ray tracing and Unreal and Unity. Yeah, give them 10 years. It's going to be pretty epic. No pun intended.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da.
Gloomy Sunday. This is interesting. This is just something I wanted to throw out in links. It's not technically like motion graphics, but this person did
what on the show actually is motion graphics.
True, exactly. A pre-trained deep neural network making predictions on live camera input, trying to make sense of what it sees in context of what it's seen before.
This was super cool.
It's just somebody playing with like a phone charger on the desk.
Right. But here's the thing. So it's like, okay. So this is the way I like to think about it. It's if you only have a hammer or only have ever used a hammer, you're gonna see everything as a nail, right?
Right.
So like they programmed this AI to only see like fire or only see flowers, right?
Right.
So like they fed it tons and tons of flower information, and then it would show it something that wasn't flowers, and then it would interpret it as flowers. It was way cool.
Yeah. This
to me is like
finishing some tutorials before NAB. See you at NAB, Noseman.
Bye, Noseman.
Noseman, gonna buy you a drink for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, but the thing about this is it reminds me of a dream.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, just kind of like if like when your brain is firing off random stuff while you're dreaming and you interpret it as something else.
Right.
It reminds me of that in a way.
Yeah.
And I often wonder what you would see if you would, how when you see AI stuff like that, how it's kind of like blurry and meshy, like it's not quite crystal clear. It looks kind of like, to me, that reminds me so much of a dream.
Yeah.
Like,
I can see that.
What your brain would see if you were to hook your brain into a computer and try and like interpret, because I saw that there was a place that did that. Where they were able to get some patterns and figures out of people's heads from dreams somehow. And it looked just like that. It was very weird shapes and like not quite clear. So Tokyo Megaplex says, did you guys see the interview the Blender Guru guy did with Ton Rosendahl, the guy who made Blender? Is that his name?
That's cool.
Ton, not Ton. Ton, right? Ton Rosendahl.
I guess.
That guy is crazy cool. I don't do much Blender.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you got a link to that, send us that in the dingus as well, and we'll get that posted. Yeah. The links. Do we have any more links? No, we don't.
I don't know.
We don't. You know what it's time for?
Yay!
All right. I'm not talking about Fat Damon.
Fat Damon. So stupid. Are you really going to call the episode Fat Damon?
Why not? I mean,
all right.
Someday we'll be like, you remember the Fat Damon episode?
Yeah, and that terrible game that you played.
Yeah, that everybody loves so much. Yeah, that one. All right, so we're going to go to, let's see. Okay, so this is interesting because this is actually March 12th that the still is from. March 12th, Year Overlord 2018, called Single File, but I actually wanted to bring up the motion version of this that he posted the next day on March 13th. So this is a animated version of the day before. I'm trying to get this to go full screen. There we go. So there's a guy kind of walking down a line of guys with like VR not helmets, but like visors on. And as he flashes them with his stick, they kind of salute him and come to attention. And the name of it...
And the lights change to green, which I think is cool.
The lights change to green, like they're activated. It's called Reboot Human. So these are some... Maybe they're human, but they're like androids or
no. They're all human. They're all human. They're just
cyborgs.
Have VR headsets on. Like that's his future that he's creating right now. Is this future where everyone is inside this VR headset, so that you don't have to see how crappy our world actually is. Like, I mean, think about it. If you had inside out tracking going on at all times and like the glasses that I was wearing, like I could make my world look so much better than it actually is. I mean, do we really need all this crap that we see around us? If we can just perceive that and build our world the way we want, I don't know. I think that's a pretty cool thing.
Did you ever see Mark Osborne's claymation back in like 2000, 2001? It was called More.
Yeah.
I
it was
want to say
the guy who invented like this cool thing, and everyone started using it to be happy, and then he wasn't happy anymore. Yeah.
It was called. I think it was called like Happy was the name of the machine or whatever it was, right? So it's like this claymation dude, and it's the same thing. It's like dark and gray, but then whenever you put on this invention, everything becomes like super happy. And I mean, that's where we're going, right? With AR.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be algorithms that just like motion track bums off the streets, and you think everything's great and nothing's wrong, and that's what I guess that's doing. Like maybe these soldiers don't even know they're soldiers.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe they.
Oh, did you see that? Have you seen that short? That one was awesome.
Which one?
The guys who are super addicted to VR and they just like spending all their time in VR. What is that one called?
Yes, I did see that. We linked to that on the show, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it was called Bliss. The name of the helmet was called Bliss.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know what render engine I think was used here. I don't really know.
Oh, on legal stuff? I think it was Octane.
Yeah, I concur. Anyway, really good. And then, so I wanted to go to March 14th. This one's called Emoji Warfare Episode 2. Remember we talked about the fact that maybe the Emoji Wars would be a great series, like a novel,
right,
or something. So this general in charge of these guys actually has a giant funny emoji face on, and man, I want to know this story.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now there are God rays in here. So do you think that this is? I mean, because I think this whole series is either Octane or Redshift.
Yeah, it could be Redshift.
Do you think that these rays are? Do you think they're done in Photoshop? Do you think they're?
No, I don't think they're done in Photoshop. I think they're actually done in. Yeah.
Man, we need to have Mike back on the show for sure.
Yeah, Mike. Seriously, and with one that we've got coming up, I gotta talk to you about it.
Oh yeah, that's for true. That's for true. And also, is he coming? Mike, are you coming to NAB? Tell us they're coming to NAB.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, this one is definitely Octane, and this is March 15th. I'm going to say this is most definitely Octane because of the lens effects with the with the shift. You can see like that hard purple and all of that. That's definitely, I would say, a post effect in Octane. But what is interesting about this is that here's this hooded guy again.
Mm-hmm.
You remember, and last time we didn't see his face either. He's turned around, and apparently he likes smashing things because there's always debris following behind him. This guy's just trouble.
I like that.
And so it's like, is he the rebel? Like, is he the hero that they've been looking for the revolution?
Yeah, he's the hero. But look at this. Mm-hmm. He's figured out a way to tap into these transportation modules.
I feel like this is the first time he discovered it.
Right. So like he and so he's figured out a way in order to get out of the the lower class planet and move himself to the upper class planet to kind of like break the glass and that everyone, or shatter everyone's world by telling them this lower class planet exists.
Mm.
And that was the whole rundown at the end. He was getting caught for it, you know.
And all the rich elite are saying, well, he's just being paid by George Soros just to rile people up.
Who's George Soros?
Right? Oh, you don't know all that? Yeah.
No.
I think a lot of people will get that reference.
I don't think anyone will.
You know, it's a reference to what's going on with these gun protests. People are saying, oh, all those kids are just getting paid to be there. It's like, okay, yeah. So that's really good. This is really integral to the story, I think. And the last, okay, so I just wanted to mention this one as well, because this is just like, I saw this, and I know you saw, and you thought the exact same thing. This is March 18th. This one is called New Home, and this is an example of Beepleception.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what we've been talking about, is the story where they're terraforming Mars as the other planet.
Right, or some other planet.
Or some other planet that looks like Mars. Whatever. But it's like, okay, did the fact that we talk about it influence what he did?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it a coincidence? Or like what's going on? But it's like Beepleception, because now we don't know like what's going on. Like, is our story influencing the story?
Right.
It's hard to tell.
Or
this is
are
why
we just
he's come
so
back on the
good
show.
at interpreting his works of art that, like, yes, this was what he was originally planning.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, this is really good. This is like, to me, this is like when the ship got there for the first time.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you right there. Right?
You know, like this will be in the book alongside one of those pages.
Yeah.
You know, you remember those books growing up where
Choose Your Own Adventure?
No, it was like there would be adult books, but in the middle somewhere there would be like 4 or 5 to 10 pages of color photos in the middle.
Yeah.
It's just, it wasn't any book in particular. It was like, ooh, pictures. You would just go look at that only because you're a kid and you're like, I want to see the pictures.
Right.
So this will be like that in the book. There'll be random colored pictures throughout the novel, and it will be these illustrations.
Yeah.
And all the proceeds go to People's People.
Yeah.
Mike Winkelman's charity for underprivileged graphic artists. Anyway, there's more. There's so many good
as
ones.
soon as we finish up all the other stuff that we're working on.
Yeah, it never ends. Never ends.
Never ends.
Anyway, what else do we have? Let's do a VR corner real quick before we get out of here.
VR corner.
There are 2 links. Isle of Dogs, that movie that's coming out.
Yeah.
They did a 360-degree behind-the-scenes thing.
That's cool.
It's pretty cool. They talk about how they made it, and they've got 360 time lapses going of the making of. So they time lapsed the claymation or stop motion process. Which when I saw that trailer, I was like, "Is this CG that's made to look like stop motion, or is it actually?" I don't know how people these days can still do stop motion. Like the overhead. Like, is the overhead not more than graphics? Seems like it would be.
You've got like look at the video. How many people do you have? You've got 3 people on set. Once you've got the scene actually shot, I mean, you're gonna set up these scenes anyway. You know, you're gonna have stage builders and stuff. But still, like, think about it this way. So the stage or the scenes that they're building are much less. Are much smaller in scale. So while you may be paying like $10,000 per scene, it's not $50,000 to $60,000 per scene because it's so much bigger. I mean, this is me totally talking out my butt right now, you know. But I would think that because you have to have it's less people on set, you know, and it's because it looks like only 2 to 3 people on set at a time, like building these scenes, right?
The cost of all I don't know. I wonder. Tokyo Megaplex says, why do people listen to vinyl? Yeah, but see, vinyl doesn't cost much more to get into.
It does now.
Does it?
Yeah.
I mean, I can buy a record for $10. I got a record right here. Look.
And how much did that
remember
cost
how
you?
much this was. Well, it was a gift.
See?
It doesn't have a price tag on it.
Right.
I need to open
and look,
this.
they got one guy actually making these sets while they're shooting stuff.
Okay, you know? Computer on vinyl. That's right. Best album of all time, right there. Not. Yes, it is.
Dark Side of the Moon, dude.
False. But Radiohead is the modern day Pink Floyd, in my opinion.
That's what I've heard.
I've always thought that personally. Yeah. All right. Anyway, check that link out. And then you posted this link in our show notes, actually. Google to reveal world's highest resolution OLED on glass display.
Yes. It's crazy. Yes. Do
you remember what the resolution was on it?
Okay, so it's like, I think it's like 4 times whatever. Okay. It was, what is the normal resolution of, what is the current resolution for the Oculus? I think it's like,
it's
65 pixels per inch.
It's basically HD in each eye, which isn't very good when you think about the pixel, like the proximity of the pixels to your eye. That's not great. I'm looking it up right now. 18 megapixel, 1443 ppi. That's 1443.
Right? Okay, that's what it is.
It's the 14, ppi.
Right, 1443 ppi. The Oculus Rift right now is 461.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. When I'm looking at my Rift, I still see pixels, and it's not quite clear enough. I'm like, it's so close, but it's not quite there.
Right. And think about it. Going from 1461 to 461 to 14. What is it? 1453 or something like that.
I closed it.
Like, you're talking. That's almost like quadruple the amount. You know, that's ridiculous. So imagine being able to see 4 times better in your Oculus Rift. Oh, it's going to be amazing.
Now, is that technically considered 4 times better or 2 times better because of squares and all that stuff? I don't remember. Better. My brain's not awake enough to figure that out yet.
Yeah, I don't know. Gosh, the Houdini Slack is blowing me up. I need to turn that on silent.
Houdini Mark, we miss you.
Yeah.
You're not there much anymore now that you're with Barton. Makes me Woodry stay.
Yeah. What'd you say?
Woodry stay. He's in there a little bit today.
Yeah, because we've been calling him.
Yeah, everybody's been saying how much they miss him. Funny. Man. God, I step away from Slack for a couple days, and there's all these new people in here.
Yep.
Okay, so any news about Redshift denoiser for Cinema 4D? That's from Cinema 4D Tutorials SV. That technically was.
I think so. I think there hasn't been an update in a couple weeks for Redshift.
Right. But I was talking to Liam this morning, and he said he's really hoping that new version is going to drop today or sometime this week or something.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. But if there is an update, especially if it has to do with the denoiser, I think that he'll probably hop over to that before anything else. I think it's just kind of like he's waiting to see what they do. There was, I believe, that one point where their documentation said something about the fact that the denoiser was in Cinema, but it wasn't, and then they took that off. I'm hoping that they're close, because I would like to see that in comparison to Octane personally, you know, see how that works, and if it's based on machine learning or if it's just like a regular denoiser, like something you would use in After Effects.
Right.
I know nothing about it, so. Anything else before we get out of here?
I don't think I have anything.
Okay. You can rate us on iTunes, leave a review. That helps get our numbers up. Do you want to look and see if there's anything new on the the reviews. We haven't talked about that in a while, nor have we done a contest.
Well, we had our first bad review, and it kind of set me off.
Oh, okay. Well, are there any other good reviews? We'll put it that way.
I'll look.
Because leaving a review actually helps us with our ratings on iTunes, helps get us out there. So if you could do that, or if you're somebody who listens on YouTube or somewhere else, subscribe on a podcatcher of choice, because when you do that, even if you're not using the app, you're helping get our numbers up and stuff like iTunes, and that really helps us with our ratings, and more people can find us. So little things like that help. Spread the word. Tell your friends about us, especially if you work in these graphics departments. Tell all your other friends to check us out. I believe there's a little bit of something for everybody here, especially if you start them out with maybe an episode with one of their favorite artists, as that was a guest on the show or something like that. That's always a good it's a good gateway drug to Brograph.
Right.
And then Cinema 4D Tutorials SV says, is it possible to use Physical Sky with Redshift? The answer Billy put in there on the chat is Redshift has its own sun and sky system.
Yeah, most render engines do have their own sun and sky system.
Check out our newsletter. Subscribe to that. That goes out rarely, but it's always full of information. I was really enthusiastic how I said that too. And you can say you've been there, done that, got the T-shirt with the No Brograph T, the limited edition Kate and Simone shirt, the Paul Babb, Feel the Babb 2020 shirt. All the profits from that go to Doctors Without Borders. The Render Things shirt and hoodie, which are out there. There's also a floating around in the ether, if you know where to find it, there is an Octane Jesus shirt that you can find, designed by Smearballs himself. I promised him I need to order one because he lives in Canada and he cannot get the shirt that he designed for us in Canada because Amazon.
Oh, you know,
because
I was going to say we could order one, give it to Sage at NAB, and then have Sage take it back to Toronto.
Well, he just sent me his address. I figured that was a lot easier. So come find us. We're getting real close to NAB here. Let's see. How are we going to work this? So next Monday we'll have a show.
Let me ask you this, because it was brought up in the NAB 2018 channel. Do we want to do a limo ride this year, like just a hangout limo thing?
Do we have time for that?
Yeah, I don't know.
I just don't know where we would do it. A limo ride would be really fun, but when are we going to do that? Let's think about. Okay. Monday, because I think let me ask you a question. No, let me ask you this question. Okay, so we did it a couple of times a couple of years ago where we got the limos, and was it any different in price from ordering it way ahead of time versus ordering it like that same day? Slightly, but not that much.
Okay, so I say
if a few people are going in, it's
everyone,
not that expensive.
I know, I know. But all I'm saying is, all right, everyone just kind of, maybe we'll rent a limo and just pick everyone up, all of us who are hanging out at the Go Some Dobro Oro, thing, and we'll just go hang out.
So, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Sunday. Maybe we can do that Sunday. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a show. Are we doing a show that night?
We need to do a show. I don't know. I really don't know. It's tough because, it's like, are we going to do it live? Are we going to have good internet?
Right.
There's so many variables that we don't know. So we're just going to have to play it by ear. So the best place to find that information is going to be in the 2018 channel on our Slack channel.
Yeah.
We'll be talking to, all the people at Maxon and stuff like that. We have obviously things going on, but a lot of times what happens is we'll go to dinner or something, and then after that it's just free for all. So
yeah,
we don't know. I would say maybe Monday after the Media Motion Ball would be a good time.
That would be fun. Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
What time's the Media Motion Ball get over?
Well, I was a little under the weather last Media Motion Ball because I had the Cinema 4D. What do you call it? The Cinema 4D flu. The Maxon flu.
The Maxon crud.
The Maxon crud. Yeah. But I feel like, because I just went back and you guys went and played VR after that last year in someone else's room.
We did, and that was kind of boring. So let's do something different this year.
So yeah, maybe we could take the limo around and then grab our gear and go do a podcast.
So it gets off at 10. It gets out at 10. So yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's early for Vegas.
Yeah, totally. I mean,
really early for Vegas.
We could get that set up. I don't know. Anyway, all right.
Yeah. All right. So just keep an ear out.
Mm-hmm.
We'll help everybody
Vegas
coordinate. Just talking the NAB channel. It is going to be nonstop. So make sure that you bring your whatever helps you stay awake.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's caffeine or what have you. I don't know. You people are into the nose candy or something like that. Whatever works for you. Sleeping salts, Spark. Maybe I'll bring my Spark. I haven't had that in a while. Whatever.
Dude, I've been off of caffeine for 1 month now.
That is awful. I apologize.
I have been completely off of caffeine and all soda for 1 month, not by choice because of medical stuff. But I've also lost 10 pounds. It rules.
That's good.
I can't eat anything delicious.
Did you find it?
What?
Did you find it? I bet you'll find it in Vegas.
No, I can't eat anything. I'm so excited about going to all these dinners, but I literally can't eat anything we're going to eat.
Right. Oh, man. I was looking at the schedule. I'm so excited. Did you look at the schedule of what we're doing?
Yeah, I did.
I don't know if we can talk about any of that, but it looks fun. All right. We're going to get out of here. We talked about all the shirts and things. Mm-hmm. Any other shirts?
I don't know. If you guys want a custom shirt, let me know. I'll make one.
We're getting really quick at making shirts. The Octane Jesus shirt was made in 15 minutes.
Yeah, dude. There's so many stupid shirts that we have just randomly made and put out there. That's like
the People's People honestly,
shirt. Did you make that one?
Yeah, there's People's People.
Did anyone actually buy it?
I don't know. I don't
know.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, wait.
What?
Who is? That's not true, is it?
What?
Open tab at GoSoModo Brodo.
No, absolutely not.
Oh,
that's why I put a thumbs down.
Wow. Well, I don't know. I thought maybe Maxon and Red Giant were
maybe.
So maybe it is.
I
didn't know if he got that information from somewhere or if he's just being hopeful. That would be pretty sweet.
I don't know.
Oh man, that is going to be so much fun.
Hopefully, yeah.
I cannot wait to go to that meetup. So
that's gonna be cool.
Yeah. What are we gonna wear? Is it casual? It's a casual event, right?
I am always casual. I do not dress up. I don't even wear a sports jacket.
Should I get a Render Things shirt and do a midriff cutoff with it or something? It'd be hot.
Dear goodness.
On that note, we're going to get out of here.
Yeah.
I did all that. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and that other thing, Venmo.
Are we on Venmo?
No.
We're on all the social networks that will track your stuff and then sell your information to foreign dignitaries.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Obama. And of course, YouTube and Brograph.com.
Right.
All right. We're going to get out of here before we get any more slap happy. Until next week, I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt.
Have a good one.
Later, bros. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Ding.
The finger thing means taxes. Have you started your taxes yet?
The finger thing means the taxes. I have started organizing my bank account info. I always go through and I categorize every single thing on my bank account, categorize them and group them. Usually I can get it done in a day. I think Saturday I'm going to sit down and do all of my taxes in one day.
Yeah, same here. So
because we won't have time when we get it back, and I'm flying somewhere else.
Are you for sure yet?
Most likely I'm going to check today and see. But
okay.
Anyway, we're still live.
I know.
So let me Let me look at the thing here. Maybe I got an email about it. If not, I'm going to call him today and find out.
Another awesome episode. Thanks, Grant. Brought to you by Meth Damon.
All sorts of we got all sorts of emails and stuff. I got to check these. Okay. Let's go ahead and get off the stream real quick, and then
bye everyone.
Bye. Love you. Miss you. Mean it. Logging off things. Stand by. Still logging off. I'm gonna wait 1 second before I disconnect the stream. Okay. Interesting. Before I disconnect, let me check something. We're still live on a couple channels. Just want to check something. Rather interesting.
It's interesting.
Okay, now we're good. Okay, hold on.